We are ready. Well, welcome back, everybody. It's the middle of June here, and um,
Ah.
I know this weather report is going to be interesting. It's a powerful cosmic reset. Okay, we're just coming off of this grand trine that's in the air for 11 days, and it's given us this aerial view to look at things and see whether or not they're in alignment with who we currently are. And the cosmos for the next 3 weeks are going to be pushing you to kind of look at that as well. So the first one
Woohoo.
is, I know, like be excited, be excited. So the first one is the new moon, which is on the 14th of June, and it's coming in Gemini. It's a super moon, so that means it's a darker moon. It's the closest to the Earth per se. And it's the closest it's going to be in its orbit to the moon. So it's a super moon that's dark, and it's asking you to reconnect and set intentions around this new awakened self that you've become, that you're coming into. You started at the beginning of the year and you said, I'm going to do this, I'm going to be more this, I'm going to be aligned with this. And this one is now saying to you, okay, well, let's reconnect with that because it's an unaspected new moon. And what that means, nobody else is speaking to it. Nobody else is in the conversation. It's you. Well, okay, it's the new moon and it is the sun. So this is just a conversation with you as a luminary, your ego, your emotions, okay, your outer, your inner. It's a private, personal conversation. Nobody else gets to vote. This is only about you, okay? And the fact that it's unaspect, it just really solidifies the fact that um, this is kind of very similar to the dark night of the soul. Okay.
True.
Conversation that you're having with yourself, that there's been some kind of discomfort. And now you're trying to figure out, well, what is it? What is that discomfort? You're trying to ask yourself these questions. So imagine yourself at this intimate dinner with a mirror in between you, and you're on one side as the sun and you're on the other side as the moon. What do we need? What do we want to show? These types of questions are the tougher questions that we have to ask. Okay. So the dark night of the soul just actually like really goes hand in hand with this. It's a dark night. It's darkness. It's got that nutrient rich kind of a feel to it as well. And there's no other conversations going on. Not nobody else is even like, yeah, there's some supporting energies, but they're not talking to the new moon. So it's unaspected, which I think is beautiful and brilliant of the cosmos to just hand that to us like that.
Hmm. And in the middle of the year, that seems like a good time for something like
It's a
that.
good cosmic reset, right? Oh,
Hmm.
okay. Well, that's just not it. Let's just look at the next thing. So now we've got June 19th, and Chiron, the wounded healer, the great teacher, is entering Taurus. Let me just say there's a lot of conversations. There's a B, C, D, there's all the way to G conversations where everybody is touching base with Chiron. Everybody. I've got something to say. I've got to help you out this way. I've got to help you out that way. And these questions, the themes that Chiron is saying is like, okay, we have to heal some wounds around self-worth, security, stability. These are all self things. What's going to be sustainable now? We've decided we're going to do this a lot differently. We're coming into this Taurus season, and now we got to put down some solid mortar that's going to give us a launching pad to go forward next. True enough, Chiron is going to go retrograde a little bit, and then it's going to start going forward again. But it's tipping its toe in this water right now, going, okay, let's get a baseline of what is our self-worth. What is our security? What is our self-security? Are we finding security in tangible things like, oh, this brand new car, this and that? Because there's going to be a question that comes along in the conversation of, is that really how you define your personal worth? With how many tangible things that you have? Um, I just the many conversations that are going on, and I did an entire series on it, and I'm even doing a class on this because it's going to be here until 2034.
Wow.
And it's entering at the IC, which is the very bottom of our chart, which is talking about our roots, our ancestry, the mortar that's in between holding our bricks together. So it's a serious time. It's a long period of time. And the conversations that are going along with it, whew, the sun is in a sextile. So it's a big question to ask yourself, first of all. So I was like, how do I present this? Because you've got the big question, and then it's like, well, oh my God, it's a lot to swallow. How do I break this apart in pieces? So I decided to look at the wingman first. And you've got the sun as a sextile at 28 degrees. So it's very mature. It is illuminating the information that you need in order to upgrade, in order to heal yourself. It's in Gemini. Yes, typically we're gathering, but it's at 28 degrees now. We are no longer gathering. You need to look and see what you have, share it and integrate it in a way that it's going to be useful to you now. All the information from the beautiful kite that's been flying around for 11 days. Great that you got that information. There has to be a certain level of discernment. Is this going to be useful for me? And that's what you take with you. It's also in a sextile with the North Node. Now, our North Node is our fated destiny, right? So the North Node is saying, well, I'm glad we have all this and you've learned all this and you're making your walk towards me, and that's great. But now we've got to apply it. You've got to apply it. You can't manifest something if you don't start applying something to it. I can manifest and hope and hope. That's not what manifest means. Manifest means you have something that you want to do and you're taking action towards it. And that's what the North Node sextile is doing. So it's actually pushing forward. And then there's the trine to the South Node. Now, the South Node are things from our past lives, if you believe in that. It's things that we've mastered already, things that we're very comfortable doing, and that's just the way we've been all along, and that's great. That's what we're doing. But that's where we started from, and we're going towards the North Node. So the trine, the conversation, this pocket of opportunity, is saying, reach for those things that you have mastered that are now going to be useful to you. So let me give you an example. Okay, that's not a positive, but I'm going to give you this example anyway. If you're that type of person that manipulates and gets you away, that's not something that you should carry with you, because that's not in alignment with who you are, with who you say that you want to be, with who you say you're trying to be or you are. So don't take that. But if one of the things that you have mastered is looking at things in a specific way, seeing the beauty in the color yellow or the beauty in the color red, then yeah, take that with you. So some of those things that you've mastered are not all poo-pooed and no longer in alignment, but be in discernment. Take what's useful and what's in your truth. That's the conversation that's being had there. So you've got to reach for whatever it is, okay? It's going to be useful because it's going to help you to heal. You're tapping into those things that you have mastered. You come into this Chiron in Taurus and you're just, oh my God, there's another thing that I've got to overcome, these wounds of self-worth. And oh my God, it's like, wait a minute. If I tap into things that I've already mastered, I'm now seeing my worth. And if I'm only taking those things that are useful and that are truthful to my alignment, that's a wonderful pot to start in, to be honest with you. Okay. You've already mastered it. Celebrate what you've mastered and take it along with you. Okay. There is some tension that comes up. There's some tension. We do have to talk a little bit about tension. So who's in a tension conversation with Chiron? Well, Pluto. Okay. But you've got Pluto in a square to Chiron. And it's self-worth, wounds around self-worth, and it's transformation. And I truly believe when I was reading this chart, it's not what it is Pluto is saying you're not transforming anymore. You are transformed. And now you need to come into balance with that. You need to come into alignment with the fact that you are now transformed. No longer transforming, you are now transformed. And as we come into that, as you come into that alignment, into that agreement with yourself, I am now transformed. I am now being. That's that the conversation is there. It's like, yes, it's a square, but there's some tension that has to be healed. And this is the way that you heal it so that you can now evolve to the next level of your evolution. And it was coming to me, the only way you have to consider the wounds as part of your transformation. Oh my God, they were deep. Yes. Kind of a little stingy too. There's a lot of pain involved with wounds, obviously. But if you see them as your transformation, you are changing them to a different perspective, and you're creating a deeper, richer, thicker mortar for your foundation, which just so happens to be in the IC.
What day is that, or around? What's the time of the
19th,
Chiron? Okay, thank you.
18th, 19th, really depending on where you
19th. Yeah, that's great information.
Yeah, and it's I was getting a visual of this butterfly. You're in this butterfly stage, and Pluto is saying, okay, you no longer have any of the cocoonness on you. You are now a butterfly. No longer, this is not surface level anymore. It's freaking Pluto. It's not surface level. This is deep level, and you're at the bottom of your chart. So of course, totally surface level, really creating some nice, good, sturdy roots so that you can continue to grow. But it's also in a square with Jupiter in Cancer. Like, wait a minute. How can something that's supposed to be an abundance of healing, an abundance of protection, an abundance of nurturing be at a square with wounds healing? What this conversation is very simple. Do I feel safe enough to grow? Safety, Taurus, grow, Jupiter, into this new container of who I am. So, yeah, that's what I got for that. So, I mean, like this.
What a start.
I know. And, it is, I know I said back on the last astrology weather report that this was supposed to be a calmer time. It is a calmer time as far as outside activity work, but mental work is still going to be going on.
Yeah, lots of introspection.
Yeah, and it sounds like a time to really, own the transformation.
Yeah.
And
you're transformed.
And you are transformed, and to show up that way.
Just be.
And be.
And just be.
Mm-hmm.
Just be.
Be. And then on the 21st, the sun goes into Cancer. This is the summer solstice. This is the highest, the sun is at the highest spot it's going to be into the sky. What better way to take a look at everything that's all around you, everything that you've built, everything that you've become, okay? It's the peak point. And the sun is kind of saying, there might be some discomforts around this, but I can see an aerial view, and I can kind of see how that grass is growing over there, and those flowers are growing over here, and this emotional security is flowing over here. So the cosmos are always, I always have this positive spin on everything, but the cosmos are actually giving you like just a little bit more of a boost to go, okay, here, and now here. And now here, you've got the opportunity. The sun is at the highest. It's giving you the most illumination now at this point in time to see everything all around you. Coming out of the darkness of the new moon, yes. Sun, peak, okay? And it's how are you taking care of yourself is a conversation that's being had here. Are you in alignment in such a way that it's going to continue to nurture yourself? You're going to be able to sustain it and nurture yourself. That's the whole expansion piece of it there, because it is in conversation with quite a few planets, one being a trine with the North Node, which is asking you to merge into this new person that you say that's who you came here to be. It's in a square with Neptune. This is no longer a delusion. This is no longer a dream. This is now tangible, okay? And it's in a sextile with Chiron. Of course, sextiles mean that they're holding hands and they're skipping down the road together. Okay, so I just anyway, that's the beautiful. But there's more. There's more reset. You're like, wait a minute. There's more reset. Yes, there's more reset. On the 29th, we have the full moon in Capricorn, asking us to get back on track. This is a real mid-year reset. The conversations that are going on at this dinner party are not as intense as the Chiron, but they're intense enough for you to go, oh, because you're being asked some questions. You've got that Capricorn energy, which is the goal setter. It's set these goals up for the beginning of the year, and I want to become more aligned with who I say that I am and who I say I'm becoming. And it's a full moon, so we're going to accept, we're going to acknowledge, accept, and we're going to adjust. That's what the full moon is asking you to do. And the fact that it's in Capricorn, it's going to be, okay, well, we're doing this check here, and what's working, what's not working, and what do we need to adjust so that we can get back on track. It's a mid-year check-in. It's a reset. It's also in a square with Neptune and Aries. Now, Neptune and Aries is actively dissolving something. Something's got to dissolve for us to get back on track. So the square in this part of it is, in my opinion, reminding us this is an active thing. This is no longer, well, I think I'm going to get rid of this because it's no longer. No, you're actively dissolving it. This is an action. You're going to take action here.
Because
And it's
Aries, Aries doesn't like Neptune. I mean, Aries and Neptune seem like what? Like
Well-
that's hard. No.
Well, I mean,
No.
it's Neptune wants to just continue to. Well, you think about it this way: the commonalities. I dissolve Neptune.
Yes.
Cardinal fire is like, okay, I'll dissolve it with you. Let's burn some stuff up. Let's change it into ash, which makes it more nutrient rich. So if you think of it that way, yes, there are some discomforts between the two because there's a fog that's going on.
Yes,
with
steamy.
Neptune.
Mhm.
And yes, that fog, that steaminess can kind of come up and get into the way.
Yeah.
But then you have Saturn in Aries as well. So Neptune and Saturn are in a conjunct. So that Saturn is saying, you've got the full moon over here. You've got Neptune in Aries. You've got Saturn in Aries. Now, Saturn energy over here because it's Capricorn. Saturn energy over here because it's Aries. So yes, it's a square, but it's that energy is saying we are now embodying who we say we're going to be. We're going to continue to do the work. We're going to see the results. We're going to be responsible for it. We're going to show up. We're going to do so that we can have.
Mm.
And we're going to put this in our core container. Again, for that mortar, it just kept coming up. And the square is like, it's asking you to take some solid action and look at what you have, what's been working for you, what's not working for you, and make adjustments accordingly. Okay. Well, it's also in a conversation with Chiron, like, of course, like Chiron's like, hey, everybody, how's it going? So when it's in this conversation with Chiron, it's now asking you to take an honest look. So you're taking a mature look with Capricorn. You're going to go deeper with Chiron. Because now it's what's honestly, what's in your truth, what is really there. Because you have to heal the wounds around security, self-worth, stability, sustainability in order to make the next steps to get back on track. It's an opportunity. You've got to reach for it. It's in a trine. You've got to heal these wounds around there. However much healing you can do that's comfortable with you. Like, oh my God, totally heal it. No, Chiron is the wounded healer. It's never fully healed. You just look at it in a different way, but you've got to reach for it. So again, there's a little discomfort there, but don't worry, because the very next thing is Jupiter in Leo. And this is on the 30th. So depending on where you are, the full moon could be the 28th, 29th, or 30th. And the same thing, like it just really depends on where you are. But once you've gone in and you've done that deep look in the full moon, this illumination of what's no longer working or what is working and what are the next steps, because you've done this conversation with Chiron. And what are the next steps? And no, it's not a what are, it's now I've taken the next step. There's action involved here. You've taken these next steps. On the 30th, Jupiter into Leo. So let's celebrate it. Let's celebrate how far you've come, how much you've done, where you are. You can even celebrate that you just wrote down your baseline. If you haven't done, well, what have I done? Because that does take some time. You have to stop and look, go through your phone. Oh yeah, I did that day. We kind of need those little reminders sometimes. But the important thing is that you celebrate it. You acknowledge how far you've come because you've done the groundwork, and it now becomes your baseline, your launching pad for the next 6 months. Take center stage. But before you take center stage, make sure that you've had some type of reflection around your baseline of self-worth, your baseline of security, with stability, values, money, all those Taurian themes. Again, it's going to be here till 2034. So it ain't going nowhere. It's going to be with us for a bit. So while you're doing this, it just, well, we'll wait for Venus to come into the picture because she's coming into the picture shortly. But before she comes into the picture on July 4th and 5th, Mars is having a lot of conversations. It's having a conversation with the professor planet of Uranus. Uranus lightning bolts. Shocking kind of a thing. And then you've got Aries. Yeah, let's do it. So I was getting a visual of those pads that you use when somebody has a heart attack and you're shocking somebody into their new awakening. But that's what it's about. It's coming into your new awakening. And I was just like, oh my God, Adrienne, you can't say that loud, but I can say it out loud because it's you guys. And then that's okay, because on the 7th of July, Neptune is now going retrograde. Now we're going to slow down a little bit. With it being in this retrograde, it's in a retrograde in Aries, so it's rethinking some of its actions. Okay. It's also having a professor meetup at this point in time too. It's sextiling both Pluto and Uranus. Pluto, we're now transformed. Uranus, they are now awake. Neptune's like, okay, now what do we do with this? Let's go back and let's rethink. Let's review. Let's see let's check in with the littles, the other little planets that are all around us that we're teaching, and make sure that they're in a spot where they can kind of feel some type of empowerment and not like, oh my God, this is so hard. Knowing that we're here to support them through this. Yes, we're the professor. We put together the syllabus, but we're here to support them through it as well. So you're going to slow down a little bit, and Neptune is holding the conversation in this Aries energy with Jupiter and Leo. And Jupiter and Leo is celebrating. So Neptune is like, okay, I'm glad we're celebrating, but are we celebrating? Are we celebrating? It's firm. Is it now firm that what we're celebrating? Is the truth of what we're celebrating? Or we just like, just mailing it in and just talking it up and I'm done this and I've done this and I've done this. How are we showing up? Is it still in the disillusion stage? Or is it now in the tangible stage? So I like that Neptune is stepping back a little bit, like asking some questions, like, let me reflect. Let me reason a little bit, because Neptune, it's dissolving the illusion. It's dissolving the illusion that it's not able to be tangible at this point in time. It is able to be tangible. And some things that come in are just like so crazy when I'm reading these charts. Like, it's a slow boil that lets you regroup, review, and reassign what you're making tangible. It's a time to catch up with subconscious patterns. Bring them into light for review. Okay. Because the more awareness that you have, the better you can use this fire energy of Aries and Leo to create this tangible mortar that you want to be so solid to be your launching pad. And that Jupiter trine energy is saying, walk in such a way, present yourself in such a way that you radiate authentically, so brightly and so brilliantly that everybody else radiates as well around you. That's the key part to Jupiter and Leo, in my opinion. And then we're going to bookend it because that was the 7th. And on the 9th, and I said to myself, do you really, what does she have to do with this? Because Venus is stepping into Virgo. She's in fall in Virgo. She's not really comfortable here. Virgo is being meticulous. We don't need this. We don't need this. We don't need this. And Venus is going, but I can see the beauty in it. Can we just keep it for a little bit longer? And Virgo is like, no. Her whole point is to. And she's like, so she's kind of like dragging her feet a little bit. But this transit, this conversation is saying it's time to clean house. Okay. Venus is coming into a conjunct with, she's in a conjunct with the South Node. So she's looking at our passwords. So conjuncts means they're holding hands. They're like really close together. They're in bed. They're in bed. The South Node is looking at our past worths, our past patterns, our past loves even. Okay, it doesn't have to be romantic love. It could be a love of anything. And Venus is coming in and she's having that softness, that receptivity with it. But in Virgo, she's kind of saying, I know I need to let some things go, but we need to honor them in such a way that they realize their worth for us. So this is another hint to take what is useful out of that South Node bucket and see it in such a way that it's a benefit of. It's something that's going to help you to heal. Okay. And then she has a conversation with Chiron. Like I said, she goes into a trine. She's checking in with Chiron. I want to make sure that you're comfortable in your new apartment. You're going to be here for a while. Do you have everything that you need? I see the beauty in this. I see the beauty in that. And Taurus is like, oh, this is something different that I've got to get used to. I've got to now look at my personal worth, my self-worth. What do I think about myself? What do I think I'm worthy of? And as spiritual entrepreneurs, when we try to put price tags on what we do, how difficult, right? So she's coming in and she's saying, well, we've got to clean house and we've got to heal around these wounds. So she's helping with that. She's offering that softness. She realized it's no longer serving. We know it's no longer serving. It's time to upgrade the mortar. And Venus's conversation is saying, we have to have this conversation with those things in our past that might have been mistakes, might have been categorized as mistakes, categorized as shameful. They got us to where we are. So we thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. It's no longer needed in the capacity that it was before. It's going to go down into our compost, into our mulch as an upcycled nutrient that's going to get us to go and spring forward even faster. So when I said it's a powerful reset, it's a powerful reset, and you could look at it as a lot of opportunities. You can look at it as a lot of work that has to be done and just being disempowered. But I challenge you not to look at it as a disempowerment and to look at things to where it feels comfortable to you. Get your journal out. Perfect time to journal, write, walk, meditate, just something so that you can really be quiet with yourself, because the full moon is saying the new moon is saying right away, this is a private conversation. Nobody else is involved. Nobody else gets to vote. This is your personal reset. Get out your journal, write about it, have some fun with it. See it as the dark night of the soul in a different way.
How appropriate timing wise. We didn't
I
even
know.
plan that, y'all.
When you guys said that was the topic, and I was like, huh, that is really interesting. I was like, perfect. Absolutely perfect.
So if you haven't listened to our episode from Tuesday, head on back. But can I just say, I just love how this is happening at this time of the year. Like, what perfect timing for like a mid-year reflection, refresh, cleansing with Venus. And like, it just feels very nice that we can we're not stuck in whatever energy we're in, that we've kind of culminated to this point of the year. Like, there's still time for, as you love to say, Adrienne, pivots and adjustments. There's so many pivots.
And when you follow the cosmos, it really kind of does give you a roadmap of, okay, well, let's look and see how you're doing now. It's mid-year. It's really June already, guys. June.
Yeah. That's awesome. Any notes, Melinda? Any thoughts?
Yes, Melinda.
I was thinking, I wanted to ask a question about, like, Adrienne, if you were to like just imagine for somebody.
Should I close my eyes?
No, yes, of course. No,
Okay.
whatever you want.
Okay.
But if you were to just give examples of like what people might see around them, like outside of their own work, and their own self-empowerment work and their own investigations and conversation, what might we see
Expressing
this cycle? Yeah. How is it expressing, and how might it express in the collective? Like, just sort of like intuitively, I know you're going to have some concepts of like what it might look like, not within ourselves, but around us.
Well, I really like to focus on the empowerment piece because it's about personal growth with me. But there's going to be a lot of chatter. There's going to be a lot of chatter. There's going to be a lot of information coming at you. And you're going to have to discern what you need and what's for you and what's for you to maybe file away for maybe later on. And you really won't know that if you don't take that check-in to see.
What is my truth, even with all of
this other stuff. Like the new moon is like, nobody else. The noise is quieted. Everything around you. So, I mean, this is a perfect opportunity. So there's going to be a lot of chatter. There's going to be a lot of buzzing. There's going to be some quick activities that are going to possibly shock people. Yeah. There's going to be some things that you're going to see where their self-worth is not in line with what they're actually doing.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's not to take you away from like where you want to focus, but I do think it's helpful sometimes to just kind of go, because not to the, not like a political thing, more like we're always in relationship with people. You go to work and they're, and you're like, you have to deal with those people, with the people at work. And so like, and it's not always going to be easy or something. I was just like curious if something pinged about like how the cosmos would work with that.
Listen more, do more listening. Don't be reactive. Come from a place of reasoning instead of reacting. So when you listen more, come from a place of reasoning instead of reacting. There's going to be some moments where your tongue's going to want to say, especially with those things in Aries, which is woo, and breathe through those. Communication is going to be important. Community is going to be important. Community of like-minded. There's going to be some movement of community involvement as well, I would say. You're going to see some communities aren't what they said they were, and they're not in alignment with who you are. So it's okay to step away, because that's why you're doing this mid-year recheck.
I love that. Thank you for indulging. I think it's cool. And I like, I like that Capricorn Big Daddy coming in,
Actually,
to
she's
go.
grandma. She's feminine.
She's grandma. Okay,
Yeah,
she's grandma.
that's grandma. That's grandma with
She's grandma.
the wooden
I like
spoon if
it.
you're from down south.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
That's
that's
so much interesting information. And I like the reflection though, Melinda, because I think if we remember, okay, if I'm experiencing all of this, then that means everybody else around me is experiencing all of this, and they might not be as aware of how the cosmos is supporting us through this. So they might not have the tools that I have to be able to like reflect, recheck, evaluate how I'm interacting with the world. So that might get a little sticky, but at least you can kind of
Yeah,
approach it with a, hey, let's have a little gentleness and realize we're all moving through, you know,
it's also going to
summer.
depend on where it hits in your chart as well. Like
Hmm.
that's one of the reasons I designed the course, because it's just, I was just like, well, this could be this for this person, this could be this for this. I'm like, oh my
Mm.
goodness. So, just putting it together and just giving Chiron sometimes gets a bad name, and he was a very intelligent. The wounds that he went through, like
Mhm.
at his birth, he was wounded because his parents were like, oh my God, what did we do? What did we make? And I believe they gave him away. And then, towards the end of his life, he was actually wounded by one of his own students. So I'm like, well, he got stabbed in
Wow.
the back, but not really stabbed in the back, but you know what I'm saying? So I do feel like he gets ignored a lot. And I really wanted to bring some focus to that, and also give some empowerment tips, empowerment strategies, um, uh, to people as they go through this. It's going to be 2034.
Do you have a
It's big.
date yet of when your class is happening or available? Or I just want to make sure we get it all out there now that we've piqued everyone's interest.
I know, I know. It is in July. Oops, sorry, as everything falls over. July 19th.
Okay.
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Mark your calendars. Sign up. That's going to be so much even more juicy information.
Yeah. You guys are
That's
going
going
to
to
be
be
like,
really
you're
cool.
going to see him so much differently that, and you really do want to look at your wounds in a different way.
Hmm.
Y- I, it's beneficial. It is beneficial to this journey through the dark night of the soul.
Yeah,
And that's what the dark night is saying to you. Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
Love it.
I
That's
love that, Adrienne.
exciting.
Very exciting.
Well, I will be sure to put links to whatever information's available for Adrian's upcoming class about Chiron. I will also put, again, all of our services that we provide all down below, our websites, our socials. If you want to work with us, get in touch. We all offer our various lovely services for you all to support you as we shift and grow and reflect and pivot and do all the fun human experience things.
Human
Because it could get
experience.
tricky out there.
It's like the fine print. Nobody told us about the human experience. It's the very
Yep.
fine print. You got to read it all.
But we signed up for it, and
We
here we
signed.
are.
We have to
But
accept that we signed up for it.
we
Some
do.
people
Exactly.
do not accept
Exactly.
that. They're like, I
Sometimes
And you
didn't
know
it's
what?
sign up
hard.
for this. But
Could
we
that not
did.
be the
We
dark
did.
night of the soul? We
Yep.
now acknowledge that we've signed up for it, right?
Yeah.
This
It's
is
a
what we came
contract.
here to learn,
Yeah.
for sure.
And of
All
course,
right.
Mercury's still in retrograde. So
Oh, lovely.
perfect time to review.
Just sprinkle that on top too. Amazing. Well, thank you, Adrienne.
Thank you,
Lovely and
Adrienne.
juicy as
So good.
always.
So much great information.
Thank you, ladies. I
Of
love telling the
course.
stories of the dinner
Yeah.
parties. I feel like the person that's given all the info. What is it on? Uh, it was a series on Netflix, and she was the gossip person.
Oh,
Witherspoon. Would you guys never watched it?
Reese
Reese
Witherspoon?
Witherspoon?
No.
No. Oh,
Oh my gosh.
it's
Aw.
called Witherspoon?
Wait, Bridgerton?
No. Bridgerton.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. We saw Bridger.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
It's
Given all
hot.
the gossip. Yeah.
She's writing the column.
Steamy.
Yes. In the column.
Yes, our own Lady Whistledown, cosmic
Yeah.
style.
I think I'll take that name. She needs to hurry up and come back with another part because I'm ready. I'm
I know, it's
ready.
good. It's good. All right, folks, we will
Oh,
stop gabbing about Netflix. And we hope you have a lovely mid-year check-in. The heat of summer is here if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, but I mean, the heat is on, right? And we're here to reflect, find ways to cool down,
absolutely.
all the things. So we're here for you. We send you lots of love. And we hope that you just have a lovely next few weeks. And we'll be back very soon.
Bye,
Take
everybody.
care. Bye bye.